by hobbyists, but it was found naturally. We are right now examining why this is there. This is another species, a similar species found from pools. Undescribed. It is right now being described by a friend of mine. Again, no explanation whatsoever on why the fish are absent in between Tamil Nadu and Bengal. This fish too, it's called dwarf barb. It reaches about a foot and an inch and a half in length. Found in Bengal, then found only in Tamil Nadu, nowhere else. These are the most common threats to Indian fish. Overfishing means fishing for food, fishing for the aquarium trade, habitat destruction, pollution. A lot of people use dynamite to catch fish. They require 100 kilos of fish, they use dynamite. Dynamite kills around 300 kilos of fish. They take the 100 kilos, they let the other 200 kilos stay and they leave. So dynamite is ruining our fish species. Unmanaged collection for the aquarium hobby, which is basically because of the demand in Europe and other countries. Wild caught are basically fish that are straight from the wild and exported, are hugely in demand in those places. So there is absolutely no restrictions so far. Hence, unmanaged collections are happening. Invasive and exotic species. I'm sure you know of the flower horn. The flower horn. A lot of fish were introduced into India, African species primarily, to act as cheap food sources for the poor people. These fish took over the habitats of other fish and have driven them to extinction. Okay, so in Madras even we have 13 exotic fish. Exotic meaning not native, non-native fish. They are very hardy, they can survive any kind of water conditions. They will eat our fish, and that is driving our fish to extinction. 2 years ago, piranhas were found in the Western Ghats. A small school of about 20 were found in the Western Ghats. No one knows where they came from. The guess is they were released by some hobbies unknowingly. So the exotic condition right now is very bad. Dams in the upper reaches of the river, once dams are built, the flow stops, water warms up, all the healthy fish die. They are used to cold water, flowing conditions, they die. That's it. You will no longer see them. So most of these are man-made problems. I will show you some species, a couple of species right now that are probably extinct by now. One's common, right now extinct. This is called Bagheris virali. It's called the gooch. Any of you watch River Monsters? This is considered to be a man-eater. It's completely false, of course. It's just media hype. Grows to about 6 feet in length. Was originally described from the Nilgiris. It is right now not found in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Fishermen are spoken with. Fishermen who are about 60 years old recognize photos of this fish. They tell me that they haven't seen this fish in about 40 years. Young fishermen who are about 25-30 years old have never seen this fish. Right now it is possibly extinct in South India. Though populations are good in North India, the fish is being chased to extinction in South India because of indiscriminate fishing, dams and sand mining. Heliobacterus punctatus, a very popular food fish. It grows actually bigger than this. It can grow to the height of a man actually, over 5-6 feet in length. Again, same problem. Fishermen don't recognize this fish anymore. Fishes these days haven't been caught at all. Places where you could get 20 or 30 a day, right now you get 10 or 12 a year. Again, indiscriminate fishing. What we need to do, what the government needs to do, what the responsible authorities need to do, educating locals on the status. See, the problem, you can't blame the locals really. Locals don't know it is endangered, locals don't know it's valuable. It's food for them, they just catch it and eat it. So the locals need to be apprised of the situation of the fish. Forest guards, sadly the education level of the forest guards is very low. They don't know anything. I've interacted with quite a few, they don't know anything about wildlife or especially fish. They may know a little about terrestrial animals and birds, but they know nothing about fish. So poaching, which is why it leads to poaching and collecting of fish. Artificial breeding programs which are happening a lot in Singapore and Indonesia. Indian fish are being bred there, sadly. We are not able to do it, but Singapore and Indonesians are doing it. That needs to happen. So what they do basically is tame, for example, any endangered species, they collect it, spawn it once a number, a sustainable number is maintained, they go release it back into the wild, which the same which happens with turtles. This is not heard of in India so far, sadly, so this needs to come in place. Fishing techniques, dynamite, poison, people use poison. So the entire stretch of river, every fish dies. to collect food for 10 people, they poison the entire stretch of the river. So that needs to be controlled, and sand mining is one of the major problems right now we're facing. Luckily it seems to be coming under control. So that if all these are done, 50% of our species will survive for a long time. With the current trend, estimates suggest that we will be left with about 40% of what we have in about 10 years. So 60% is already down, almost gone. Unless these are done, that's it, we're done for. That's it. So I actually want to do how much, do you have any more time?
You can have some questions if anyone. You mentioned some dynamite.
Exactly.
Where is it taking place?
All over. Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, everywhere.